Everyone in the service industry has a story, crazy customers, wild orders, and WTF moments. Do you want to start a tab? The podcast here to bring you those tales from behind the bar. I almost made it without making an error.
You got to get used to those new bifocals.
I know, that's what sucks. I was like, it was kind of wobbling when I was reading it. And like, ugh. My name is Carl. I've been a bartender for over 13 years now and soon to be bar owner.
Oh, look at you.
Look at me. We're both going to be bar owners, technically.
Yes, because what's yours is mine.
Yeah,
and what's
fucking
mine is
laws
yours.
and marriage.
My name is Riley, and I'm getting over an atrocious cold.
Yes, you are.
I apologize for my voice in advance.
It's okay.
And cough breaks.
But we're trying to fix that today by doing what?
Drinking penicillins.
Oh, shit. So we're setting up, and I go to Riley. I'm like, what do you want to drink today? And I thought she honestly was going to say like water or like something super light, low ABV. And then she's walking down the stairs. What about penicillins? And my face was just dumbfounded.
He simultaneously wanted to murder and kiss me in that moment.
Yeah. So that is what we're doing. Penicillin. It's a great Scotch cocktail. I think it's one of the better Scotch cocktails. If you're not big into Scotch, it's a good one to kind of like check out.
Yes. And except for we're not actually using any Scotch in our version. That is an Irish whiskey that you used. And then our Scotch float component is a Welsh single malt.
Damn, I actually thought that was a Scotch at first.
So that's why it tastes so weird.
Yeah. See, glasses aren't really helping at all, y'all. So what we like to do on this lovely little podcast is read stories off the internet about the hospitality industry through the eyes of the guest or the worker. Read the story, talk about it, discuss it. Was a situation handled correctly? Was it handled incorrectly? If there's an asshole, if there's a hero, rate it 1 through 5 and like to have some fun. And besides just having fun, we have started noticing this is more of an education of what not to do and what to do.
Yeah. Like how to appropriately comport yourself in a restaurant or bar situation.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, that's what we do on here. And would you like to go first or?
I would love to go first because it is June. It is Pride Month.
Absolutely.
So I have a story from the Entitled People subreddit about a gay bar.
Which are fabulous because at least around here, drinks are cheap. Drinks are cheap and
the vibes are always party, rage.
And it's the only time I can get someone to buy me a drink.
Oh, poor thing.
This actually isn't that bad.
It is good. It's just not
right.
A penicillin.
I'm sorry. We can drink a real one.
I really just wanted the honey and ginger. So.
Right. Okay.
All right. So this was posted by the user KR Chrome 4 years ago, and it's called Harpy Yells at My Friend and His Boyfriend in a Gay Bar. So I heard this story from a friend of mine. My friend was with his boyfriend hanging out at a bar. After a few drinks, they were feeling a bit frisky.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Can you slow down?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Oh, am I manic?
Yeah, you're going super fast right now.
Oh.
Sorry, but.
Okay. So do you want me to start with the user?
Sure.
So this is from user KR Chrome, and it was posted 4 years ago.
There's going to be a lot of this in the next 3 hours.
You're going to have to cut a lot out in your edit. It's called Harpy Yells at My Friend and His Boyfriend in a Gay Bar. Okay. So I heard this from a friend of mine. My friend was with his boyfriend hanging out at a bar after a few drinks, and they were feeling a bit frisky, so my friend kissed his boyfriend. Then there was an ungodly screech coming from a harpy. "You can't do that here!" "Huh?" my friend asked, a bit tipsy. "Why not?" "This is a public place. You can't act like fags in this place." Now everyone is staring at her. "Ma'am, please, you can't speak like that to our patrons," the bartender tried to placate the harpy. "Get me your manager. I want these two faggots kicked out." Man. Ouch. So the bartender got the manager. "What's the problem?" the manager asked. "Get these two sick faggots out of here." "Ma'am, this is a gay bar." She looked shocked, and then she storms off. Of course, she still needed to get the last word. "All of you are going to hell." Then everyone in the bar yells back, "See you there, bitch." Now, oof.
Yeah. Okay. What is a harpy?
So harpy is a Greek. It's a creature from Greek and Roman mythology. So very unpleasant. It's used to say a very unpleasant woman.
Okay.
Bird-like features.
Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah.
Man, first of all, how do you not even know that you are in a gay bar?
Right.
Well, that's fair. We went to Louisville. We didn't realize that was a gay bar until I had a guy really requesting.
Yeah, but we were also very drunk.
Yes. Maybe
we were in a wedding party.
But anyways, yeah, like who cares? They're probably in another country, right? If they're using harp as
harpy. No, it's a very common term for a shrew or an unpleasant woman.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter if it's another country.
I'm pretty sure they called Kat a harpy in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay. But yeah, just who cares? Like, how long ago was this story?
4 years.
So it's
2020.
Right. It's 2019, 2020, whatever. Right. But it's still like, this is normal activity. It's always, well, that's never always been normal, but like this is predominant. Or
we are to a day and age where the fact that gay people exist is not a shock.
Right.
Nor is it for most places. Looked down upon.
Right.
We live in a place that probably has a lot of harpies that would say just that.
Right.
But slowly.
One harpy at a time.
Man, and she had to just I forgot to reread this and put in my preemptive apology for the use of slurs.
Right.
And I apologize for reading those, but got to keep the story true to itself.
Right. I mean, I think there's right. I mean,
right.
It is what it is. We know, like, you're not specifically saying that in your own tone and manner. So it's just sad that this is just the world we came to. But I was kind of hoping that the manager was going to come out, ask what the issue was. And I kind of wish it wasn't a gay bar and still have the manager kick her out because saying like they can do whatever the fuck they want, kind of thing.
Like they have the right to express their love in an appropriate manner, which I feel like a kiss at a bar is appropriate.
Yeah.
For a bar. Like there are public decency lines and that did not cross them.
No, absolutely not.
For any couple.
But it is funny though that she didn't realize she was in a gay bar.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's the immediate karma that she received for her bigotry is just on point. I love it. I love it so much. Trying to be bigoted in a place that you actively despise and you're mad now that you have to leave.
Right. And trying to get the last word in and like outshow everyone and make sure everyone knows who you are as a person, human being, See you there, bitch. Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it.
I mean, unfortunately, that's probably not an uncommon thing that happens to, gay people when they kiss in public, especially if it was not even at a gay bar,
right.
Not especially, but I know it probably happens a little bit more in the Midwest where
in all places that are less metropolitan. Yeah.
Yeah. But
where religion is more Bible thumping.
Right. I mean, it's a pretty short story. Gets to the point. It is what it is. I mean, it's not is what it is, but it's like.
Yeah. I mean, so let's pick the story apart and rate it a little bit. Up until the point that she figures out that this is a gay bar, her behavior is a 1.5.
Right. Because even if it wasn't directed towards a gay couple, but just that
bigoted, I feel like I have the right to express my opinions and rights and everybody should have to follow them and whatever.
It's like if someone was wearing a MAGA hat and someone wants to scream across a bar about how it being offensive or whatever like that. Right. Like, I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying like they can wear whatever the fuck they want. They can do whatever they want as long as it's not hurting
anybody else.
Right.
Or actively trying to.
Right. So that's common for that shit to happen in bars.
Yes. I think the fact that this woman was enjoying herself in a gay bar puts it at least up to a 2.5.
Right.
The fact that she then that every patron got to see her realize she was in a gay bar and she was publicly humiliated for having her opinions while actively patronizing a business that she despises, obviously. Even better. So I'm going to say 3.2.
I was going to say 3.5. So yeah, because of the same reasons too, because
wait, no, I lied. 3.8 because see you there, bitch.
Right.
Gets another.
It's a little cherry on top of the story of the situation. I get that for sure. If you have a story similar to this,
or if you have one where somebody accidentally walked into a gay bar and loved it there.
Right. We'd love to hear that story. Check the show notes of any podcast you're listening to us. We have to do check the show notes. Check the show notes of the podcast player you are listening to this on. Jesus Christ.
Do you just want to strike that and start over?
No. We do have a subreddit. Do you want to start a tab? The link is in the show notes. We also have a phone number, 563-277-0072. You can call us if you want to tell us your story, any story, or if you have thoughts on any of the stories that we've read or talked about.
Or if you have questions about appropriate ways to behave in certain situations.
Right.
Obviously, we are not the end all be all we're not the end all be all of opinions.
Right.
And Carl's behavior leaves things to be desired a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. And let's see here. What is, oh my God, I can't even speak today. This is going to be a bumpy ride, I think.
Yeah, we struggling today.
And while you're on that podcast player, go ahead and leave us a review. Jesus. 5 stars or whatever stars you want to give us. The more the merrier. It does help the algorithm push this podcast to other people so they can enjoy our rambles and my miscues on speaking. Let's see. We read that one. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the moral of that story is don't be a bigot.
Right. It's that easy.
You won't have instant karma coming at you.
All right. So this one was a story I gave Riley an option a couple weeks ago too. And this is more of whatever. It is a story. So this was in the Bartender Memes Unfiltered group I'm in on Facebook. It is a fun group just to see a shit show and train wrecks. But it's just a screenshot of a message. And it goes, hi, name's blanked out. Unfortunately, I'm going to cancel your reservation for Saturday. We value our customers a great deal, but we have to think about our hardworking and dedicated employees. At first, I thought it was just an isolated incident when you failed to tip your server. I sent an apology and a gift card to your wife for the incident. Since that day, I personally oversaw the service you received, and you continue not to tip or leave less than $1. I will not subject my staff to that type of behavior. Moving forward, both you and your wife are no longer allowed at our establishment. There are so many ways that this is wrong and right at the same time.
Right. Right. Like I have never been more on the fence about a story than I am about this one.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you're worried about your servers not getting tipped, pay them a living wage and don't worry about tips.
Yep. I think if you're going to do this, you should have did it in person and pull all them off to the side. But that's true. It is
like, I mean, if they're not going to give your server the courtesy that eating at a restaurant in a tipped industry, I don't think.
I guess if they watch it like 4 or 5 times happen, especially after you gave them gift cards and stuff, thinking, and those people know why they got those gift cards.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, in theory, they should.
Because you probably wrote a note saying, I'm sorry about this or that.
Like, do I absolutely think that they should tip their servers because it's part of a social contract when you go out to dinner or go out for a meal in a tipped industry, in a tipped culture like we have in the US. If you're not going to tip your wait staff, then you shouldn't go. Obviously, unless your wait staff offends you. Right. But if the service has been overseen and you know that the service was good, then I don't know. I don't think that this was the way to address the situation.
I don't think so either.
I don't think that banning somebody from the restaurant is the way to go about it. If you're worried about your servers making the right amount of money, then pay them the right amount of money.
Yeah. I guess I personally, after the third time seeing this, I would have pulled a couple off to the side and like, look, we're trying to do this for you, trying to do that for you. You know, they're working hard, you know, whatever their bill is.
But then at the same time, this couple, you know, this couple's attitude, you know what they're going to say. Right. But they're going to say, it's not my job to pay your staff's wages. Right.
And I guess you can then go off of whatever that response is, because they can ban whoever the fuck they want. It's their business. They can do whatever they want. I just think it's just like, this is like breaking up over text message instead of breaking up in person or at least a phone call. Right.
I don't know, man. This is hard. Yeah. This is really hard. This was not the way to handle this. There are two people wrong in this scenario. Both of them are assholes. I appreciate that the manager or the owner or whoever it was
is looking out for their staff.
I love that. I don't like that it was addressed this way. And I also don't like that this couple feels like they don't have to tip. I don't know.
So there is a similar family per se, that comes to Seven Hills, sometimes on Rockstar Bingo. And they're fun in a crowd to play bingo with because they'll banter with me back and forth. Right. But they give the server a hard time every single time the bill comes. They nitpick the bill. They don't understand how the discounts work, that it's just tallied up at the end. You don't see it per drink. Right. You see a huge discount at the end, and they need an explanation every single time that the bill is used. Then they use a coupon on top of it. And then they only tip 10 to 12% after the discounted amount has been on the bill. They've had up to like $80 discounted off. And so their bill's only like $40. Right. And they tip like 10 to 12% on that. And every time I see a server, and Cindy was one of them, she had them like 3 weeks in a row, and you could just tell the third week she's just over it. Right. And then every time that you can tell whoever server got sat on that table, you just fuck, because they already know they're going to put in all this work. They're going to, they're going to do all these extra things for them because they keep asking for it, and they already know what the outcome is going to be.
They're the ones that want a house salad, but they want you to make it a Caesar salad, but they don't want you to call it a Caesar salad.
Right. Yeah. So I haven't seen them in for a couple of weeks now, so I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to come anymore, or, whatever, for whatever purpose. But yeah, it sucks because it's just horrible. But yeah. So on a rating scale for this one,
fucking -87. No, it's a 1.5.
So you see this stuff all the time where the manager sends a text message to one of the guests and says you're not allowed back in the establishment because you don't tip.
No, but I do see the situation being handled inappropriately a lot.
I agree.
This is just one way to do it inappropriately. Mm-hmm. I don't think that it's special because it was via a text message. Right. I think it was a dick move. Mm-hmm. But I also appreciate that they got the forewarning instead of showing up to the restaurant and not having a reservation.
That would have been the petty dick move.
Yeah. That would have put this at a 5.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say this is a 2. I wasn't trying to. I was just questioning. I was just hearing.
There's no good way to handle this situation. I firmly believe there isn't. Yeah. Because you're battling two mentalities here. Mm-hmm. One mentality is I don't have to pay your employees' wages with tips. Yeah. And then the other mentality is it's a social contract. You need to follow the social contract. Yep. If you don't want to follow the social contract, don't come here. Yep. I side with one of them. Mm-hmm. because I firmly believe in social contracts. We live and die by them.
It's what we live in the United States. It's not going to change anytime soon.
Right. Because those people are like, I'm not responsible for paying your employees' wages, are going to bitch when you raise their sandwich price by $3 so you can pay your employees.
Yep.
The reason restaurant prices stay restaurant prices to some degree is because they don't have to pay the employees those living wages.
Right. It's one of those things like, do you want to see the price increase on the front end, or do you want to see the price increase on the back end when you tip out?
Control it.
And control it. So it's never going to change. We're too far into this system in the United States for it to change. I mean, some restaurants and bars, we went to Boulevard Brewery the first time. They didn't accept tips.
There's a lot of places in bigger cities that don't accept tips, that they're paying their employees living wages. But
I know when we went to San Diego, I think that was the first time we saw that we got charged an extra percentage. So then the company could afford healthcare for their employees. I would fucking
love a surcharge for paying.
But
I would pay that.
But I've heard the same thing too. It's like, well, what the fuck are you making all this money on your food? But then people don't understand. Restaurant, the margins are so razor thin.
Right.
It is fucking crazy, like, to be able to do it. So
every meal would have to be, I mean, here in Iowa, every meal would probably have to be an additional $5. $3
to $5. Yeah, absolutely.
To pay a living wage with benefits. I would happily pay it.
Yeah.
Because I usually tip more than that. But still.
Yep. But
it's not an appropriate way to handle that situation.
Not at all. And just
poorly.
Remember, don't be a dick. Tip your bartenders and servers.
Yes.
And drink responsibly.